So this is my lucky hat. And as it turns out, it wasn't lucky. I had just been lucky until this happened. A skateboarding accident that landed me in the hospital with a concussion, amnesia, and a brain injury that'll last me the rest of my life. Now I can't get on this without a helmet because the next accident could really be life-altering. So I'm headed to Albuquerque to go find a helmet. If you've ever wondered how little skateboarders actually wear helmets, I just went into a skateboard shop and asked if he had any helmets. And he went, "Nah, man, I don't ride bikes." So a lot of these skate shops are proving to not be great resources. I'm now heading to a bike shop here in Albuquerque to try to see if what they've got. I know they carry helmets. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but maybe they have something close. If not, I'm going to start going more towards like larger corporate stores. Actually, oddly enough, a lot of the skate shops that I've been to, I'm like trying to buy local and try to buy from skate shops. But 2 out of the 3 of them have now referred me to big box stores, and one place referred me to a motorcycle shop. So, you know, I'm trying to do what I can. All right, well, the bike shop didn't work out. I'm headed into a re-gear store. It's like a used gear store here in Albuquerque. It may be the best used gear store in the world. Helmet acquired. I wish I had worn a helmet. Now, when you hear about brain injuries, you always hear the worst case scenarios. I consider my brain injury to be in the best case scenario column, but it still affects me every single day. When I had the accident, I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was in a parking lot on my cell phone and decided to grab my board. The next moment, the lights were on, but nobody was home. So let's start this story on the day after the accident when I was dealing with the worst of it. I had amnesia, and when I say that I had amnesia, I mean I remembered almost nothing. Not my name, not my friends, my work, the person I was dating, nothing. I had to have the important details of my life written down for me, and I just carried it around until my memory came back. When you have amnesia, you're not completely oblivious to the world. You can figure out that people recognize you. However, you have no clue how you know them. People bring up stories with you, and you just have no clue what they're talking about. It took me about a month to get most of my memory back, and there's about a week before the accident that I have no memory of. Cut to almost 3 years later, and that one moment in time still affects me on a daily basis. And I actually want to get into the small annoyances that I deal with because those are the ones that seem to bother me the most and are the most unseen. For about a decade now, I've carried a notebook with me to write things down. Except now I have to write things down. There's literally not a single day that I don't have a notebook with me, and if something doesn't get written down, I probably won't remember to do it. So it's pretty well documented that brain injuries can cause depression, but I didn't really deal with the depression side of it. However, what I do deal with since the accident is mental aggressiveness. And to kind of explain that, think of it like this. You know when something goes wrong in your day and it just kind of hangs around you all day in the back of your mind? Well, instead of it being in the back of my mind, I now obsess over it all day. I get worked up and I spiral into these thoughts, which usually come out as me being a bit of an asshole. And this affects my friendships, my work relationships, and it affects my relationship with my partner the most. Thankfully, she's understanding that I can't always control the spiraling. Sometimes I'm just an asshole, and then I blame it on the brain injury. I constantly forget where I put things. I use construction tools for work, and so I'm constantly losing my tools. I mean, I lose everything. A rule I have is never be clever. If I think I'm being clever when I put something away, I will always forget where it's at. Another aspect of this is that I bill clients by the hour, and the brain injury costs me money in the sense that if I spend an hour looking for something or fixing something that I forgot about, I can't ethically bill that time, so I just have to eat the cost. I've also gotten worse with names, remembering details, and stories that people have told me. This one I particularly don't like because it feels disrespectful to the people that I know. And lastly, you begin losing trust in your brain. You start to really question if you're remembering things correctly, if details are correct, or even if you're putting the proper effort into remembering details. 99% of the time, the effects of this I can get past emotionally, but about once every month or two, I'd be misleading you if I didn't say that it really bothered me. Sometimes I break down and cry about it, and it's, short little cry session, but it stresses me out. And it kind of hurts to know that one moment in time from one bad decision can have such kind of irritating, lasting results. So I don't want to necessarily preach to people about wearing a helmet, but it's the little things that I have to deal with day in and day out that you never really hear about that truly impacted my life. So now I have a rule that anytime this comes out, so does this. They only work together. So do I wish I had worn a helmet? Yes.